I won't lie, based on what I heard during the earlier gameplay footage of Tekken 7, I was like, yeah, that's it. The music in Tekken has gone so far electronic, it's hit total noise levels. I wrote the music off as another victim of EDM, and that was that. However, after obtaining said OST, my opinion had not changed in the least, and I miserably skipped through the 2 CD 25 track release, telling myself, yep, total trash. However, I realized my bias towards the hard EDM slash dubstep slash industrial genre. I'm not the biggest fan of the dubstep thing. Combined with my love of the sound of the older Tekken soundtracks was, well, disrupting the experience for me. TLDR, I had to stop being Mr. Back in my day and enjoy what was being presented to me musically. And you know what? I'm glad I did, as I'm enjoying this OST far more than I thought I would as a result. Alright, if you're familiar with the Tekken Tag Tournament 2 OST, or more recently the Tekken Revolution OST, you'll see some familiar names on this list. First of all, Akitaka Toyama, aka Ajurika, makes an expected appearance alongside Taku Inoue and Ryo Hamamoto, who are both still a part of the in-house Bandai Namco Studios. Keiichi Okabe, now with Monaka Studios, Nobuyoshi Sano with D-Tune Studios, aka Sano DG, aka Mr. Namco Ridge Racer, who would influence on my music. And finally, Swedish band Batar, who made the theme for Lars Alexandersson, Fredo. Yeah, verkligen inte se att komma. Long story short, the track is a collaborative effort between Mr. Harada and the band, and kudos to them for being the first band featured on a Tekken game. As for the actual track, we'll get to that. Also, for more information on the band's involvement, there's an interview link in the description below. So with that out of the way, let's get to the main event. Also, before I forget, the OST was released May 21st, 2016. Alright, so the tech-step genre, introduced with tech-step Fountain Fontana di Trevi in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, composers had long foreshadowed interest in wobbing it up in regards to the sound of Tekken's music. Ever since Tekken Tag Tournament 2, the series has definitely moved towards the EDM dance trance genre of music. Revolution incorporated even more of these elements, especially the dubstep variety. But Tekken 7, they took all of those dials, especially for the dubstep, and maxed them out. They just friggin' maxed them out. Now, to be fair, not every track is all, but there's definitely a warm to be climbed for listeners not familiar with this kind of music. I know it was for me, and that's officially the last disclaimer from me regarding this genre of the music. You know, you just gotta get over it now. Here are some of the tracks that stood out for me. Okay, so disclaimer. Not because it's not a fave means it's terrible by any means, just not a favorite, okay? Number 1, Equator Line 1 and 2. Tekken 7 has the final round music this time around, complete with the stage transitions and such. And both of these really caught my ear. Upbeat and not overly abrasive, this definitely sounds like something you would have heard in Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Alright. Number 2, Arctic Snowfall, first and second. Tell me, when you hear the words Arctic, what usually comes to mind musically? Number 3, Empty Your Mind, first. That's the name of the song, I'm not telling you to empty it. Has a great feel and pacing that really draws me in every time. Number 4. Devil Kazumi's theme. You'd think having a tiger thrown at you by Kazumi would make her epic enough. But then final round music kicks in, and suddenly it feels like I'm fighting the last boss in an Ace Combat game. This is probably the most fleshed out track in the game, and quite a departure from the rest of the OST, which makes it all the more impressive as it combines electronic, acoustic, and choral elements seamlessly. Ryu Hamamoto really shines with this one. Number 5. The Long Goodbye. Now, when I first heard this song start up, I was all, oh no, incoming sappy goodbye anthem. Granted, I was correct, but then 46 seconds in, the beat drops. The styling sorta reminded me of the amazing ending music from Tekken Tag Tournament back in the day, and the singing by Mr. Darnell Abram was a nice touch that eventually grew on me. Considering Tekken 7 is supposed to be a send-off to the Mishima saga, it's pretty cool. My not so favorites. In the spirit of being positive, I do try to avoid segments like this. But hey, casual or not, a review is a review, and this time around, there's only one song that truly irks me whenever it pops up. Okay, well, to be fair, I also skip over the A Grain of Sand duo on the soundtrack, as they're both a bit meh. But the main song I speak of is, you guessed it, Vrede, the theme for Lars. Perhaps it's my ignorance of Swedish rock music, but the song feels all over the place, and compared to the other tracks on this OST, feels out of place. That's just my personal opinion on this track, however. The Tekken 7 soundtrack officially pushes the music of the series into the industrial dubstep hybrid genre this go round. And while this definitely is to the dismay of some, there are definitely tracks here to enjoy. Obviously, you're not gonna go into this expecting complex melodies, phrasing, etc. But what you will get is an upbeat, hyped OST with excellent production values, something I should have mentioned earlier. Yes, opportunities for nostalgic remixes were missed. Yes, some of the tracks may sound as though a car alarm and a siren were put into the sound blender and presented as a song. Alright, really wrote myself into a corner there. Long story short, given the nature of this OST, I'd give this one a listen if you're curious or a fan of the series. This definitely doesn't fall under the must-listen criteria, although by default you'll be listening to it if you're playing the game, so you don't have much of a choice. But perhaps Faded Retribution's console release may add a few tunes and change my current opinion